Good morning. It's Craig Bennett, aka Cash Cake, here with DFSArmy, and I've got a super draft video here. Super draft. If you're not over there, there's been a lot of overlay. You need to play it. And one thing Super Draft did today on Saturday, February 27th, is they knocked off the first two games. So if you're playing on the other sites, you can go over there and set your lineups up, and then head on over to Super Draft and set your lineups there as well. Again, if you don't have an account, come down the description below and use that link and sign up. Use promo code ARMY. And we have projections. So if you want to come over to DFSArmy, use promo code CashCake, save yourself 10%, get the projections, and knock out some lineups and chase that overlay, man. If you're playing one site, you should always be looking for it to build that bankroll, and it's a fun site to play. And let's just dive into it, and I will kind of go through some plays that I like on tonight's slate. All right, like I said, we have just 5 games on Super Draft, and so it starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. They've taken off the 2 early games that start at 7, so you got a full hour to come over here and make lineups. So again, if you want to reserve everything you got and then come over here and make some lineups, that's the best way to go at it. I like when sites stagger like this. Rest in peace, Fantasy Draft. They used to do something similar, but having Super Draft do this, it's fantastic, and I think it really helps people play the site as well. So jump on over there and sign up. So let's start the center position. Like I always talk about, I always start here. It's all about the multiplier. If you're not used to Super Draft, you can basically play whoever you want. It's all about the multiplier, nothing to do with trying to fit in when it comes to salary cap or anything like that. So you're just looking for highest fantasy points with that multiplier. And man, Jokic at 1.2x. It seems like he is stuck here. It's hard to get off of him. Even Sabonis at 1.25x, I do like going up against the Knicks. No problem playing him as well. Vooch, I'm a little bit worried about playing against Utah at 1.25x, but he does have upside here. So between, for me, it's Jokic or Vooch. I don't think you need to go down here at all. Rudy against Orlando, 1.35x. Don't love that. You could talk me into some Horford going up against Vooch at 1.4x. If he gets, if that game stays close, we've seen some 40 and 50 point plays out of Horford, and if the game stays close, he could be a sneaky play, because I think a lot of people are going to go to Jokic here, because at 1.2x with a guy that can put up 60, it's hard to get off of him. So if I was playing cash games, it'd definitely be Jokic here. But Horford makes an interesting piece. If you want to look at Miles Turner, I can never get him right. Jakob Poeltl 1.65x. He's playing, mid-30s minutes. I think I'd play him more if LMA was out, but I don't like him going up against Adams. And then down in here, when we start looking at these 1.85x, there was nothing in here that I really liked. I think could get us there. So I think you're basically going Jokic or Vooch. I do worry if you're going to play Vooch. I would say run it back with like a Mitchell or somebody, because the only way he's going to get there is if this game stays close. So consider that when building your lineups. But I think most people are just going to go Jokic, and he's probably your safest bet. I think Horford would be my sneaky one at 1.4x. We do have Porzingis if he plays 1.3x going up against Brooklyn. That's a tournament option for sure, because he has upside at that. But man, it's really hard to get away from Jokic here at 1.2x. So we're going to throw him in here in this lineup at center. Again, we can play 3 guards, 3 forwards. We'll go through a couple forward plays as well. And some of these guys are forward center eligible. So like guys like Sabonis, Porzingis, you can play those guys in your forward position as well. But Jokic is just center only, so he's an easy slide in here. But at your forward position, again, if you want to look at and playing, if you want to look and play Sabonis at 1.25x, I think he is playable, even going up it's New York, and it's not a very high over-under here. It's a very low team total, but it's a close spread. I don't mind looking at Sabonis there. Same thing with Julius Randle, 1.25x on the other side. I think he's squarely in play as well. But I think if we're looking at this 1.25x, Zion Williams, man, he has been on a tear lately. So I would look at Sabonis Williams, and then a Randall if I'm going to rank these guys. But they have all these guys have 50-point upside, and then you add that 1.25x multiplier, and they can hit over 60 fantasy points. So I'm going to throw Zion in here just because I like the way he's been playing. San Antonio has nobody for him. Even if LMA plays, he's not going to be able to body up Zion. Yaka Pirtle, Lyles, nobody's got any juice for Zion. So I love Zion here. If DeMar DeRozan does play for the Spurs, 1.25x, you can play him at guard or forward. I have no problem playing him at all. Another guy we can definitely look at in this 1.25x coming down here, Shea Gil Alexander going up against Denver. We don't have any Diallo. We know Horford is back, but at the same time, Shea's been playing fantastic, playing a ton of minutes at this 1.25x. You can play him both at the guard and small forward or the forward slot. I think I prefer him to put him up in the guard because there's a lot of forwards down here. Same kind of thing with Luka. Luka 1x here. He hasn't really been getting it done. You need over 60 fantasy points, which he can do, but I don't think I'm going to get there on Luka today. But he is in play if you want to look at that. I think I'm going to stick around this 1.25, maybe to 1.4x. Again, we can throw Horford in here as well, which I do like. Excuse me. I think that is definitely a way that we can look at, getting a little different, and people won't go there. But he sat out yesterday. I still like this Zion, Sabonis, Randall. I think it's probably going to be pretty popular as well. So if you want to look to get a little different, to me, it's like Horford. Ingram at 1.35x is interesting as well, going up against the Spurs. I think you can play. I'm not sure I would play Zion and Ingram at the same lineup. I don't know if they both have the ceiling to get there. I think it'd be one or the other. And the way Zion's been playing, it's hard to get off of him. But it's just, there's so many good plays in this range right here that have 50-point upside where you get the 0.25x multiplier on top of it, where Luka's got to get over 60 to get there. So I'm looking to play a couple of these guys. Heck, let's throw in Shea, and let's throw in Sabonis down here, both of them. We'll just throw both of them in here. I know I talked about having Shea up there at guard, but I think there's plenty of guards we can look at as well. But again, that's the kind of range I'm looking at. I didn't see any guys that I love. Porzingis 1.3x, I guess, if he did play going up against Brooklyn. I think that is an interesting play because if he gets you a random 50 or 60 burger, he would crush at 1.3x. So a guy that we should look at. But there's nobody down there that I liked other than that. At the guard position here, I think that there's lots of ways to go. Up at the top, again, Luka at 1x. Don't think I'm going to go there today. But again, against Brooklyn, if you're going to play Luka, I think I'm going to bring it back with one of Harden or Irving. I think I would do that for sure. Because if he's going to go off, I'm sure Brooklyn's going to be, going off as well. So if I throw Luka in there, I want to run it back with Harden for sure. One guy that I do love down here at the 1.35x multiplier. Again, there's a lot of good guards down here that can get us there. DeJounte Murray's been on a tear. If there is no DeMar DeRozan here, I love me some DeJounte Murray. He's been putting up some massive games here. Going up against Pelicans, I ain't worried. But look, 53 here against the Thunder, 35. He had a 13, then he had a 68 against the Warriors. So he's going to get a ton of shots, probably over 20 shots if DeMar DeRozan's not going to play. So I do like his multiplier here if we don't have any DeMar DeRozan. And I think he's still in play if DeRozan does play. But if he does sit, I do love that. Same thing down here with Brogdon, 1.4x. If he gets you around 40 fantasy points, you're looking at around maybe 55 super draft points. So I don't mind him. I think Murray's a guy that I would kind of gravitate more towards at 1.35x going up against OKC here. Great matchup. 54, 52, 46, 69 over his last four. Just an absolute monster lately. The only worry about this for Murray for me is will the game stay close against OKC? They've been pretty competitive lately, but they're on a back-to-back. Horford did sit. He's going to play again today, so I think you can look at him because of that. But one thing to take in consideration, another guy, Donovan Mitchell, has been super consistent. Going up against Orlando, nobody will have anything for him. 47, 45, 38, 57 over his last four. Again, super consistent. They've been on a roll. They played a back-to-back. They lost against the Heat last night, but, he should be able to do what he wants here. I just worry this game, again, is going to be close enough for him to get there, but a great multiplier for him. If we come down here a little bit more, came down to Mike Conley, 1.55x. I do like that as well. I did skip over Kyrie Irving at 1.2x. No problem playing him at all. He can put up 50 or 60 burger and then add that 0.2 is real nice. So I'm not going to talk about Luka and Harden Irving. They're all in play. if I had to rank them, I probably would be more like, oh man, probably like Harden, Irving, and Luka if I had to rank the three. But again, I love this range down here with both Murrays, Mitchell, SGA, Brogdon. They just feel like there's way more upside with those multipliers that they have. Another guy we could look at, very interesting play down here. We come down here. Clarkson's always going to be in play. Come down here with, if Elf on a Shelf Peyton is out, we can come down here at the 1.7x multiplier, and we can get us a Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, he's going to play 30 minutes. He's been over a fantasy point per minute for the season. So if we get, the random 40 spot out of him at 1.75x, he could absolutely crush here and put you a 60 spot up in a hurry. So he makes an interesting case at this 1.75x. Quickly as well. Quickly's instant offense, but the minutes aren't going to be there. We saw it last game. Only played 20 minutes. If he would get full run 30 minutes, I would smash this play, but I'm not sure he's going to get there. Josh Hart has random 40-point games. We've seen it from him quite a bit as well. 42 in here, 55 against the Rockets. So he just has blow-up spots that he can kind of crush at this 1.75x, but not a safe play by any stretch of the imagination. Same kind of thing with Dort. I think he makes an interesting play, but nobody that I'm really crushing. Hardaway Jr., love him at 1.7x. If we don't have any Porzingis, he's going to pick up a little bit more run as well, so we can consider that. Lonnie Walker, not in play for me unless we do get DeMar DeRozan out, but even then, I don't think he's going to get there for us, so I don't love that. Josh Richardson, I love at 1.8x. If we don't have any Porzingis, he can put up a 40 burger, and at 1.8x, he would crush as well. So he's another guy you got to consider, but we need the injury consideration on him. Maladon had a big game last night, but I don't think he is against Denver here. But again, 1.8x here, no Diallo, so he's going to have more minutes. Had a ton of assists last night. I believe he had 12 assists last night. 12 assists, put up 40 burger. But again, if you get a 20 or 20, you're not going to get there at 1.8x. You need this 40 spot out of him, and I don't think I would chase those points. I would kind of live up here. If you're going to take a chance at him, I think your best bet is Rose at 1.75x, because I think you have a floor of 30 and you have upside of 45, and he would actually crush here. So we're going to throw him in there, but I think a lot of people are still going to live around, like Mike Conley here, Murray, Mitchell. There's a lot of guys right here that we can look at playing. So if you're not going to go up the top, I love those multipliers. And again, this is just a quick look of what I kind of like today. I think a lot of people are going to go Jokic. I think if you're going to get different, maybe go take a chance down there at Horford just to be different. But their safest play is Jokic here. So again, live around this 1.2 to 1.5x with some guys like Derrick Rose. I think at the 1.75x, that makes an interesting play. And I think that you will come pretty close to cashing. So if you want to head over, we got projections that are updated in real time as I update the NBA model. So they are constantly changing throughout the day. So if you want them, head on over to DFSArmy and sign up using promo code CashKeg and save yourself 10%. And if you don't have a Super Draft account and you want to get in here, again, you have a nice 1 hour gap between the main DFS sites and then having Super Draft. I do like how they push that an hour back. Head on below and use promo code ARMY and sign up with the link below and get yourself an account and chase that overlay, man. Build that bankroll. If you're going to build this and play this long term, you got to find edges like this, and you have it right now over at Super Draft. So head on over and sign up, and I will see you on the flip side. Deuces.